Hello, welcome back to the Bucharest minus CIS playoffs for the qualifiers. My name is Nomad. I'm here with Mr. Tsunami, and this is Gambit Esports versus Team Empire Hope, game number 2. Tsunami, can you give us a brief rundown of what happened last game?
I believe there was basically one from the very first pick of Empire going into Lone Druid into a Coddle. They were like, oh great, we're completely boned now because I can't believe freaking Lone Druid had to build a BKB. Terrorblade wasn't able to get a lane because he was laning against a Coddle and Beastmaster, and overall the two supports of Empire were just completely outclassed. I'm convinced Coddle is a hero. I was skeptical at first. Coddle is a hero.
Coddle is a hero. You heard it here first, folks. I think GH showed us all why Coddle is a hero.
True, very true.
The other qualifiers, but that was then. This is now, and other heroes. I don't think you can. GH doesn't really count when he plays a hero. It doesn't make the hero a hero. It just means GH is doing GH things. But anyway, have we got any predictions for this game? How do Team Empire recover from that? Because that was a hard hit. Like they got dismantled. Like it didn't feel like they were. I mean, it was kind of like a tiger enters a boxing ring with a small child. It didn't feel good.
Yeah, I love Gladiator. It's one of my favorite movies. Except Russell Crowe was not a small child, but even then, I don't know if he was able to handle the tigers as well. For one thing, I want Empire to at least pick a more synergistic approach with their supports, because I think they were like, oh man, Lich is a great hero. Let's pick Lich. Wait, Lion's also a great hero. But independently, those heroes are great. In the scope of a team, it didn't really seem like it was offering anything. Lich's Frost Shield was basically irrelevant. I guess maybe it may have saved Terrorblade from like one gank, but that's it. And Lion did not really do anything at any point in the game.
That's not true. He got one finger off.
He got one finger off. He got 50 damage in like the last 5 minutes of the game. I think you need to do a little bit more than that for me to be considering it to be a viable pick.
Yeah, it was a very slow draft from Team Empire Hope, and not just from the heroes, their cores, but also from the heroes they had as like their supports and such. Lion, he's okay, and he's decent in the laning phase, but then he has this kind of dip where he feels very underwhelming for a bit, and then he comes back in that mid game when he gets like a couple of items, like Blink and Aether, and he's suddenly like really strong as support. But yeah, we definitely felt his weakness in that game.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, like the dude managed to complete a 19-minute blink, so it seemed like, again, more in the context of the fact that he couldn't do anything with his team. The hero himself is like extremely viable, but it didn't really seem like Empire had a good strategy. They were like, oh, Lone Druid, he's great, or he's consistent. I don't know if he's great, but Lone Druid's a consistent hero. Let's pick that. And then they pick their supports, and then at the very end, they're like, let's get a hard carry. Let's get Terrorblade. And then Gambit, I mean, they were just immediately with the OD response picks. So I think Empire need to have like a real strategy in mind. And Beastmaster lends itself to a strategy. You have the potential for a strong dual lane, even though you're not going to get the Coddle, and you also have the potential for a real legitimate push strat.
Yep, so let's see if Team Empire can put it back in the same way that Gambit dished it out. However, we now have a Coddle and a Naga Siren on top of one of each other. Now these two heroes with some big team fight control, and Naga has been this kind of foe. We've seen her a couple of times. Pretty much exclusively a carry now due to the changes to Riptide. It's now a proc rather than an actual spell, and it helps her farm pretty damn quick. A little bit worse when it comes to actually being in lane and such. It can be tricky to rely on it, but definitely when you're farming up, it is way better.
Yeah, and I've been told she's basically like one of the best 1v1 carries in the game now, which seems baffling to me. The interpretation I have of Naga Siren is if she's 1v anything, if she's ever in the face of a carry, you've already messed up as Naga Siren. She should be miles away, farming away, making sure that all her illusions are doing her bidding. But that's apparently the old paradigm for Naga Siren. Now you, like you said, with the proc chance, armor reduction on the Riptide, you just cut people open with you and all your illusions right-clicking the same target.
Yeah, it's pretty weird to watch. I'm sure we'll see it this time, but the swarm of Nagas coming in and then just kind of like riptiding you to death is kind of interesting. Team Empire Hope, they're going to go for the Rubik though. I can respect that pick a lot as well. You've already got the Kotl. Pretty much any of his moves are really valuable for the Rubik to steal. Then the Naga Siren as well. You know, if you can grab Song, then that counter initiation is so damn good, but it is a tricky one to get because obviously Naga has the entirety of the Song to throw out a mirror image or maybe even a net when it ends. So tricky job for the Rubik, but I mean, either way, it's a good Rubik game. Regardless. Also, I like the instant lift as well. Can be really good versus the Kotl in terms of catching him out before he blasts you away with blinding light. And in general, I think Rubik's just a good hero right now.
He's a good hero right now, but I think it's the exact same issue as what I had last game, which is, yes, he is a good hero. How do you make him work in this draft, though? I mean, they have plenty of time to figure it out, but just planting the seed, because this is looking very reminiscent of the Game 1 draft where Gambit looked like they have like Kotl and Nagasarn. That seems like a coordinated strategy to push and be able to... I don't know Will-O-Wisp plus Sleep synergy, but it seems like it would be pretty synergistic. So I'm liking the opening 2 picks of Gambit more than I am of Empire Hope, but maybe they can legitimize this Rubik pick.
You want a big play though with Naga and Keeper.
Let's hear it.
What the Naga does is she times her Song perfectly so that she uses it in between the pulses of the Kotl ulti, so you get like a full 3 seconds of hard lockdown.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty next level strats, but we'll see if they pull it out.
I mean, normally whenever anyone starts something with you have to time, then immediately I lose interest because it's never going to happen. Much as how once upon a time people thought you could time Ravage plus Song, and I think we very famously saw that it's not easy to do.
Oh man, we got the setup already. Rubik's in the game versus a Naga and a tide.
It's true.
Hi.
Where's the Darkseer at?
Dude,
have you been seeing any Darkseer? Is he any good right now? Or is he only good with Spirit Breaker?
Yeah, pretty much. He's just Spirit Breaker's best BFF. Like, yeah, other than that, he's not super common. We're gonna see the Lich instead. All right, okay. I like this guy. But I feel like, I don't know, Gambit being a bit experimental in this game, maybe.
Which of the picks? Is the Tidehunter or the Naga that makes you think it's experimental?
I mean, both. Like, I haven't seen either of these two heroes commonly, but I definitely feel like they both have potential.
Yeah, I think I saw Tidehunter being picked in one of the EU qualifier games going on right now, and nothing seems to have substantially changed. A lot of people were like, oh, sweet, you go, like, Crystallis on Tidehunter, you go Echo Saber on Tidehunter or something like that. Most people are still sticking with the delay the blink until later on. You can either get like a Dominator first item or a Greaves or at least a mech early on, and then later on you can get the blink if you absolutely need it. But it seems to be the same old Tidehunter. I guess he's just a little bit better now that he can farm a little bit faster. The trade-off is that Anchor Smash doesn't go through spell immunity anymore, and so I guess he's slightly worse against spell immune targets, but so far no one on Empire Hope is a BKB builder, so I'm curious. I mean, maybe it's just all teamfight. Tidehunter is the most memorable teamfight hero of all time, so you got Will-O-Wisp, you got Sleep, and that's more than enough setup I can hope for a Ravage.
Yeah, if he can't land a decent Ravage this game, there is no hope for this Tide.
Yeah.
Well, I think Enigma would like to have words with you about your last statement, though.
It's true. Which I would be okay with seeing in Enigma also. I've seen some support Tidehunter, not necessarily in 7.20, but I think it has potential.
Kotl, Naga, Tide, Enigma, aka don't team fight us.
And then you just pick Silencer for Empire Hope.
Yeah.
Easy game.
Right out. But a bit of single target lockdown would be pretty nice for Gambit right now. I mean, they've got that net, but obviously it's not really a stun of such. And there you go. There's your Lion coming out. You got a Ground Spike, you got a Hex, 2-in-1. He's a package deal, Mr. Lion. And you got that Hot Bod to go in your team as well.
So you're giving me so much logic for Gambit, and then whenever we go to Empire, you're like, yeah, Lich is a good hero, Rubik's a good hero. I agree, these are good heroes, but what does it mean? What is the big picture here?
Oh man, I don't know about that. It's a lot of questions, but I mean, Rubik's already got like some fantastic steals this game, but together, yeah, I mean, we don't really have the cores yet, so it's hard to kind of piece together the picture. And now we have a Slark coming out. That seems pretty good. Okay, so you can purge off obviously everything now.
True.
He's a hero which is happy to just sit and whack away at this watermelon. You know, Tide doesn't really like laning against Slark. Slark just levels up Essence Shift, and what Tide usually does, aka sit in the creeps, anchor smash, force the Tide back, force the enemy carry to not be near the creeps. Slark doesn't care about that because he's just gonna Essence Shift his way back up to the damage anyway. So I think it's good in lane. In terms of with lane partners, Sinister Gaze can be nice for getting him that the attacks off to get the Essence Shift up, but more importantly, the Frost Shield in combination with the Leap, really nice in kind of getting that initiation. And also Slark, one of his biggest problems is you never know when you need to throw down that ultimate. You know, people use that ultimate too early is one of the biggest problems in almost every Slark player. It's very difficult to know when you want to throw it out. The best Slark players know how long to hold it for before you use that Shadow Dance. And with the Lich's Shield, it gives you a nice easy timer. That's just, you know, the moment that thing runs out, or, you know, the moment you start dropping too low on HP, it gives you that easy out. I think it's a pretty good Slark game, but there is also a lot of lockdown. Like, you can Dark Pact off, you can Dark Pact off a Ground Spike, maybe a Hex, you know, maybe even the Ravage, but then you've also got a Song. You've also got the Lamp. You've also got a Net coming out. It's a lot for the Slark to work through. And I kind of feel like he's going to need a BKB, which feels pretty damn awful.
Yeah, you said that the best Slark players would know when to Shadow Dance, but even an open AI Slark would not really be able to like weave through all of this ground target disable. Like Tidehunter can Ravage at any point. It doesn't even matter after you cast Shadow Dance. You're going to get stunned. Lion, like you said, ground targeted Spike. Naga can Song as soon as you go into the Shadow Dance or as soon as you Dark Pact. Like, if you Dark Pact, Naga goes for Song. You can't purge off the sleep as long as you're still in the AoE. You'll go immediately back to sleep, and then Lion gets all the time in the world to get full Hex now that he knows that Dark Pact is spent. And then, like you said, Coddle with the Will-O-Wisp, another ground-targeted disable, and ground-targeted damage as well, and ground-targeted mischance. So Blinding Light and Illuminate are both so difficult. He has so many things he needs to purge off, and he only has one Dark Pact. So, yeah, I think he is going to have to go BKB, like you said, but if you're picking Slark and you have to be like, okay, cool, I picked Slark, first item BKB, I think you have issues.
True. I'm still waiting to see the game where we see a Slark pick up a Solar Crest. I'm convinced it's good, but no one believes me. I mean,
just because you can defensively purge it off or whatever.
Yeah, you can defensively purge it off, and also gives him movement speed, which means that, you know, you don't necessarily have to buy the Shadow Blade. I mean, it's kind of like a replacement. You can just kind of fight with your team and be a classical team fighter and jump in with the with a Soul Crest and then use that speed to track your enemies down. You don't have to rely on the leash either, which is really nice for using it for TP cancels, but you can already tell I've thought about this way too much and played it way too much.
And had a successful or unsuccessful time with it?
Yeah, pretty successful, but I mean,
okay.
It's kind of like, well, like mid 4K matchmaking, because I'm like high 3K and all my friends are like,
I mean,
5K,
over there, invisibility is immunity, so
exactly.
Opting for a non-Shadow Blade build, that's pretty ballsy.
Oh, I get flamed a lot, but that's just general. Like, I'm really thinking of streaming my pub game just because like the amount people get angry at me. Because I mean, there was one game where I went Sniper Radiance. That was a lot of fun. I'm still convinced it's not good, but it's kind of interesting because with take aim and the ridiculous range, it means you can kind of like start, you know, you kind of move through the jungle and then use the radiance to like attack other camps whilst you're still attacking the same camp. You kind of orb walk around the place, and there is efficiency to be had there for sure. But
aren't the jungle camps like super far apart now? How are you even burning a camp and taking another one at the same time?
Oh, this was in the old patch. This was
okay.
7.19 days. Yeah. The real reason I did that though is because I was watching Dota and my friends were like, I told my friends I was going to play and I was like, crap, I just want to watch this game. So this went Radiant Sniper. I think it went Midas Radiant Sniper with
Couldn't
the cooldown
you just
talent.
picked a different hero?
Yeah. I don't remember the exact circumstances, but yeah. They don't play with me anymore. I don't know why.
Shocker.
Anyway, we have 2 more heroes coming out as they pick up the Arc Warden on the side of Team Empire. Hope and Gambit round off their draft with this Pogno, which I've been waiting for them to play all day because they love this hero.
And this is a fantastic situation to put it. So we talked about how Slark had so much defensive stuff that he had to purge off. He has no way to deal with Decrepify whatsoever. And so I don't know. The Slark is going to have like an immense struggle, an immense mountain to climb, and I don't really know how he's going to do it. And Arc Warden isn't going to buy him any time. Arc Warden's going to be like, dude, you make space for me. I don't care about what your problems are. I have stuff I need to farm. I need to not participate in anything.
I mean, there's potential if the Slark has a fantastic, I mean, like, AAA free farm laning phase where he gets a bunch of kills as well, where he can kind of just snowball the game, but even then, you know, I don't see it being likely. I'm struggling to see what Team Empire are trying to put together here, but maybe all will become apparent. All hope is not lost. I mean, there's definitely potential, and with an Arc Warden, we've always seen what these Arc Wardens can do if left unchecked, so we'll see as we head into game number 2.
I'm starting to suspect that Black Archangel just does not know how to play any other hero other than Lich, because like I'm glancing through their other heroes and I'm like, okay, well maybe like this Lich is, you know, has some sort of specific strategy, maybe with Sinister Gaze or something like that. They just give him Lich like every single game, and I don't think Lich is like a hero that you can do that. He's a really good hero, but I don't think that he enhances any of the strategies that Empire is trying to run. Like they're not really taking advantage of offensive Frost Shield. I guess now with Slark they can kind of take advantage of offensive Frost Shield, but I don't even know how many chances they're going to be able to be offensive in this lane. So right now Gambit are sending the Lion, the Coddle, and the Pugna up top, and I mainly just want Pugna against Lich. As long as Pugna is laning against Slark, then I think life is good for Gambit, and Lich is going to be utterly useless.
30 seconds to battle.
Why is the Lich useless versus the Pugna?
I didn't mean Lich, I meant
okay.
Slark specifically.
Okay.
But good question, because yeah, I meant as long as the Pugna's laning against Slark, then there's nothing that a Lich can do to help, and Slark cannot have a good laning phase if he's laning against a Pugna, because Decrepify is just going to make it impossible for him to get anything done. No last hits, no harass, really nothing.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. They will have to somehow find a way to lane this Slark versus this Tide. I mean, that basically seems to be the entire idea, and they are actually walking him down, so this could be the information they need to make this work. But the Tide, is he moving? Or is he blocking? He's blocking. Okay, so this could work. This could still work. The hope for Empire is still alive.
It's a good initial read, but I think Gambit are more than willing to send probably the Lion down bot. They'll hold on to Pugna's TP scroll, I think. Man, they're really playing it close to the chest right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if Slark also doesn't have a lane, I think Gambit is still happy with that as well.
Back? Why are they going back? There we go.
They're waiting for someone to TP, but no one's going to move until they see Slark show up into a lane.
They just spent like 2 minutes just sitting in this circle, not sure what to do. And this means Slark's going to miss out on our entire lane of CS.
Rubik's keeping it warm.
Actually, yeah, no, they pushed down to tower, so that's actually really good. It means that Slark can come back in time, and we'll get himself some precious money, so they'll say. We'll take a bit of lane tax there for him. And now, Tide already starting things out at level 2, though.
And they actually send the Coddle, not the Lion, so Vank score is going to come down bot. I guess it's fine. Blinding Light is equally irritating. As much as Decrepify, so he's actually going to illuminate.
Yeah, they're going pretty far forward. FNJ's in trouble here with the Frost Shield slowing him down. The right clicks as well from MF Moon. In comes the Decrepify, but it's not enough to keep him alive. The Frost Blast comes in to finish the job of Black Archangel. Will draw first blood onto the Pugna. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, it's actually the Naga mid, which is something we didn't really comment on a whole lot, as I kind of just assumed the Pugna would be there, but mixing things up, and Naga versus Arc Warden. So, Tsunami, how does this matchup go?
It's classic, vintage mid lane matchup. You used to see it all the time. I guess it's not that bad. Dahak, or at least for Naga Siren, it's not that bad, because Mirror Image can purge off Flux, and that's usually the biggest issue for people who aren't familiar with laning against an Arc Warden. It's like, how does my hero deal with Flux? Well, Naga Siren has no issues with it.
Yeah,
I don't even think he's casted this a single time. He's just holding on to it.
And you can just throw the illusions then into the Spark Race as well. So this is actually
exactly
pretty good. Well thought through from Gambit.
So I don't imagine that it's much of an issue, but they're still not sending this Pugna down bot, and Tidehunter's taking a bit of abuse.
Yeah, this is he's got no way out of this, does he? Oh, he's got mangoes to maybe slow people down. The Illuminate helps out as well. The salve used, so will cancel. He really wants this kill on the Rubik. He's got the Fade Bolt, but it's not enough damage. Even with the right click, it's not enough to crack open the watermelon. And he'll keep.
He didn't even have Kraken Shell. Wow.
He's just a big boy.
Big boy.
29 strength, 830 HP. And 4 armor under the tower, but of course he wasn't under the tower, so it would be, yeah, 3 armor. Was it 2 armor the first tower gives you? I can't remember. I think they changed it recently.
Oh, they don't give you any armor anymore, I thought. Oh no, it's the other way around. You don't give the tower any more armor.
Gotcha.
Right.
Fantical?
And
okay.
He's gonna die.
Well, a man on a horse is not as tanky as whatever Tide is.
Oh man, and he had Essence Shift skilled, so he gets permanent Essence Shift already 3 minutes into the game. Hell yeah.
That extra agi feels good, man.
Feels amazing. Look at Fang score. Look at that -1 next to his agi. What a fool.
Can we get the cuddle to 0 agi? Tiny cuddle. That's a dream. So Dream should have a pretty good lane and a pretty good game, to be honest, but will it be good enough?
Yeah, I'm guessing that Gambit were just like, okay, we didn't, or they outsmarted us with the lane, but our Pugna's doing fine, so we'll just let him deal with Slark in the mid to late game rather than dealing with him in the laning phase. Because Afo9, despite that early death, I mean, there's not much that this Beastmaster can do to stop him. Decrepify is just too irritating for anyone to really deal with.
Know what you want about Black Archangel on this Lich. I do love it that every time he dies in a weird way or anything like that, he always spams out the voice line, you can't kill death. Such a dumb voice line to have, because you just spam when you died and then makes 0 sense. Meanwhile, they get the root out onto the Arc Warden in the middle, and as Kingar's getting his gank on right now and chasing down Kodos under the tower. Doesn't look like he's going to survive, although with the Fairy Fire, definitely going to survive. Yeah, the illusions.
Oh, he didn't cut the right tree.
Oh, no.
He just needs 1 proc. 1 proc.
Riptide.
1 proc.
Riptide, it comes in.
No.
Is it enough? Oh, he's just about going to live. Kodos playing it close to the line, buddy. And no line wrapping around for the finish off on this, so Arc Warden will live. The Flux another day.
They're fighting over this rune.
Yeah, and West Moon, though, he's going to get hexed up, and now the Decrepify, the damage is enough. Sorry, Nether Blast. Meanwhile, Lich backs himself away and picks up the rune, the Consolation rune. Meanwhile, it's actually 2 apiece, I think. No, actually, it's 3 to Empire. 3 to Empire. Yeah. Look at the value of this shrine. Oh my god. Very nice to watch as all 3 heroes get up to max, almost making full value, each of them, from that shrine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that helps Arc Warden quite a bit, because he had actually burned a salve trying to not die to that illusion, which worked, but then he couldn't come back to the lane because he was like, I have no HP. But still, this mid lane is like mostly a wash. Naga Siren has like a significant lead, but I don't think Arc Warden really dominates that many mid lane matchups, even whenever it's like a not heavily countered matchup like we mentioned with all the mirror image and whatnot stuff. So I'm not really too concerned about Arc Warden falling behind right now.
Sure. It's kind of like you know, some really good Arc Wardens, like I think I've seen Arteezy and Thompson completely like dominate people in the mid lane, but excluding those guys, it doesn't happen often. Meanwhile, Slark just getting to work on the Tide, purging off that Anchor Smash, and getting himself some agi. Sweet agi, but the Coddle's coming into this one, but will actually just connect on Dream there. But Sayu's got a haste rune. He's just going to come in and start doing some damage here. Not even... No, they're going to go for this Tide. No, they're a bit scared of the Illuminate. And Slark doesn't have his level 6 just yet, so he's not going to get his health back, but he has got 2 more tangos to go. We'll need to keep sort of trying evading these Coddle Blasts as they come in. It's going to land on both. Oh no, only catch the Slark. Not full value, but still pretty damn nice.
The skill build from Fangscore is so weird. I'm surprised that he didn't go for Blinding Light, because I would think that between Anchor Smash and Blinding Light, there would be too much stuff for Slark to worry about Dark Pacting, especially since the mana cost on Dark Pact got nerfed.
Right.
So him going for this Illuminate build, yeah, it's forcing Slark to get more and more regen, but he's still being able to stay in experience range, he's still getting last hits. He is slightly falling behind the Tide as Kodos does fall in the mid lane to another Lion gank. But I don't know, it's surprising to me that Vangscore is building like this.
Meanwhile, they find the Coddle behind the lines. Dream doing a lot of damage to this guy, and can they bring him down? Vangscore is dead, but Dream needs to get himself away from the Tide Hunter, who needs 1 more creep before he hits level 6. He does get it, but it's just too late. Imagine if we got that a second earlier, could just Arcane Boons up and Ravaged, and the Slug would die, but unfortunately, they weren't patient enough. Well, actually, it was the Empire initiating on them. So they will be left with nothing. Meanwhile, up in this top lane, which we haven't talked about so much, there has been a fair amount of action happening up here, though, as the Pugna lanes up versus the Beastmaster and the Lich in this lane. Seems to be Beastmaster favored, as expected, but Pugna doing okay as well, as the Lich is currently... I'm not really sure what he's doing, to be honest with you. He's walked down to bottom. He's got no mana, though, so...
I think he saw how much Lion was moving around, and he's like, damn, maybe I should be trying to help out other lanes also. Because Beastmaster is doing really well, but that's because Lion has basically been migrating mid and successful. The first gank wasn't entirely successful, but it still wasted a lot of Arc Warden's time, and then the second gank was successful, so Lion's getting work done. Pugna is taking the sacrifice as a result, but he's still doing fine. He's 400 gold behind the Beastmaster. I would say that Pugna's relatively pleased with how this lane has gone so far.
He's sitting pretty happy. And he's probably going to go for this, what's it called? Veil of Discord. That's the one. And yeah, it feels like a super value game for it, just because you've got a ton of damage, magic damage in the form of Lion and Kotl and Tide. So
and Tide's trying to get some magic damage done. Has the Ravage. Didn't wait too long. A Hawk did spot him out, so he's like, all right, whatever. Let's just push this.
Let's do this. Meanwhile, Moon gonna throw some axes and get himself away, though King Olm does want to connect here, but can't find the range for his spells, so Moon will be fine. Meanwhile, Van Skort left to defend bottom by himself. I'm actually surprised that they're not trying to go on him here, but I guess they just want to find the slug. Yeah, he's got his 6 now, so yeah. Pretty interested they're not just trying to kill his Coddle under tower. I feel like they could, but I guess the TPs are always scary, especially now Tide has this Ravage as well.
Yeah, I don't know if they know if Tide walked up to top or TP'd top, so if Tide TP's down at the bot lane, that could be a disaster. He did TP, and his TP's down for like quite a while, so yeah. Dream and Seiyu are kind of outsmarting themselves here. They'll get the kill, but it's a little bit more effort than it should have been.
That's not the leap you want.
Maybe they won't. He has Blinding Light now, and he just used Dirge Pack.
Oh dear, that's not the Shadow Dance you want. Meanwhile, the Arc Ward, no, sorry, the Lion is TPing in, but it's too late for Van Skort. He's gone. He's gone. I couldn't tell who that was because of the damn cosmetic. A very silly cosmetic.
Well, at least Shadow Dance is down now. And they bring the Lion down. Top lane still hasn't been successfully pushed by Alpha 9, who is sucking.
Yep. Taking a ton of damage there, but it's okay. And now they actually use a Frost Blast in, and now the Gaze. Come here, sir. We will get you in, but the Ravage comes in from behind, of course, only onto the Arc Warden Illusion, but does get MYS Moon, and FNJ dies quickly afterwards, and Afterlife struggling to run down the Lich as he actually pops a Chain Frost, but finds the Coddle of all people. There's a bit of a journey, but all the same, Black Archangel will survive. Meanwhile, at mid, they're going forwards here onto to hack. Can they get it? No, the song is out. And now the ultimate comes down, TP away from 4 heroes. That is a very valuable ultimate from the Naga Siren. Pretty unreal she was able to get that off. Bit of a blunder there from actually Empire, I would say. Rotating in 4 heroes in order to not get the kill. Not good.
Yeah, they don't have enough Disable to stop her from doing that. It's even moving forward, it's basically going to be Primal Roar and Telekinesis. I would almost want Kodos to itemize maybe Bloodthorn, or at least the Orchid earlier on. He's going for the Maelstrom, which everyone goes for. I'm glad he's not going for the Midas, though. That's something that I was not a fan of in 7.19, and now that Wraith Bands are so incredibly value, it doesn't surprise me that he's not going for that build now. It's just, it makes too much sense to have a second unit with all this Wraith Band agi. Might as well just forget the Midas and worry more about building damage just based off of mid-game items.
Yeah, I mean, the previous Arc Wardens we've seen today have all gone for the level 1 Necro Book into a Midas. To me it sounds weird, but apparently it's the norm right now. Meanwhile, laying around the Shrine on Empire. I mean, they don't have this Ravage on Gambit, so I'm surprised they're showing this aggression, but I have to say, Game 2 looking much more even. I mean, it is still a Gambit advantage, and they're looking pretty good on the backs of this Naga Siren. Let's throw it over to Net Worth and see her well and truly on top. Meanwhile, the Slark limping behind a bit. He needs to find something this game now. He's going for this Shadow Blade build.
Oh yeah, as opposed to the Solar Crest build.
I know, Nomad cries. One day. My dream will be kept alive.
Did not appreciate the tone of your voice there. This Shadow Blade, but what the hell's up with this Shadow Blade build?
What a scrub.
Who the hell does that?
What an idiot. What's he going for this dumb item for?
Yeah, he has a lot on his shoulders. Like I said, Arc Warden is not
King
going to
R
make space for him.
was like half a second, like half a millisecond away from casting Finger of Death on Illusion there. You like cooked that bad boy up and it's like, wait. That was nearly a really good bait out from the Rubik actually. He had mirror image, so it was sending him in like one at a time. Now he gives up.
These lions are like 50 damage for a Rubik kill? Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, he's into it. Despite it being like one hit away from death as well. No.
Slark is on the prowl for this Coddle, but he gets juked out by Blinding Light.
Huge. As called in the draft, actually, by some very intelligent man.
True.
King R setting up for this one. Vanscore and King R, they think they can do it. They think they can get him. I don't think they can, though. No, they're backing out, actually. Just defensive. Wasting his time. Playing around a bit.
It's working out right now, even though Slark's not getting any kills. The important thing is that Arc Warden isn't being put under any pressure, and that's Slark's job this game. Even though usually Slark is the one who likes having room at 13 minutes. If he hasn't completed the Shadow Blade, right now it's more important for him to make space for the Arc Warden. So he's not getting kills, but he's keeping Lion busy. He hasn't used his finger a single time yet. Coddle isn't the once formidable free-forming force that he used to be. It used to be like, oh god, we're leaving Coddle alone, he's gonna get the Aghanim Scepter. Now you leave Coddle alone, who really cares? Yeah, I'm actually surprised I got through that sentence.
Tasty alliteration, yeah, nailed that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, so Vanscore's free-farming, but no one really cares.
I'm pretty sure Vanscore doesn't even care. He's like
yeah, he's like,
push out this lane,
someone else
stop
please take this lane.
Meanwhile, I mean, it's the Naga though. That's where the eyes are for me, and she's actually gone for the Boots of Travel. Yasha Boots of Travel build, so going to be TPing all over the map. These illusions are going to be everywhere. Meanwhile, at top, they're going for Alpha Ninja. They're going to chase him down with the Frost. They're even going to use a roll for this one. Get that boy down, and down he goes. Finger comes out, though, in response as Black Archangel will be dumpstered, and now they'll jump in and get the kill onto Sayu as well. 2 return kills for Gambit. They respond hard for killing their Pugna.
And they're going to be able to take this tower, even though they're not going to have any Nether Blasts. And Slark has really nothing better to do. He's not the best pusher, and it's far too late in the fight for him to join up top, so he's just going to try to do whatever. He's not even going to push. I mean, I know he's not a great pusher, but oh, runes, right. How foolish of me.
I feel like King R is definitely taking a leaf out of Blitz's book and being a ride or die bitch this game, because you know, they blow up everything onto the Pugna, and then King R immediately just comes in, no hesitation, finger the 100 HP target. You take one of mine, I'll take one of yours.
Is this like I don't know, I saw like ashed remains. Is that because of the Immortal, or is that because of the 7.20 changes? Because like I saw a unit, and then I saw like a big black statue replacing it, and I'm like, oh, did he get like astral imprisoned or something? I was like, no, it's just the remains of who got fingered.
Oh, Pugna again. Alpha Ninja might be round 2 into the grave for him as they blow him up. No problems at all. The Nether Blast doing very little indeed. And there is not going to be a response this time, actually. Dream running forwards with the Shadow Blade. They're pinging him out like crazy. Look out, guys. King R, is he going to go for the Blind Sun? Yeah, he's going to cross the barrier into the realm of vision. Now he's going to have to go for the jump in, but the will, it catches him right on the edge, but now he jumps forwards, dropping that ultimate to keep himself invis out of tower damage. They're looking for heroes, but is struggling to find as a Kraken Shell freeze Afterlife as they use the roar out onto Vanscore, and the Raxes will cut down this tree and make things a little bit easier for Dream to find one, maybe going for 2, but has to be careful. He's got no more ulti left as Dahak comes into this one. He throws down the net, looking for Black Archangel, but no, he's backing himself away. They do not want to commit to this one. They are scared of this Slark, and they have every right to be, because they do not have many ultimates left to deal with him as he sneaks his way around. Doesn't look like Empire are going to find any more here, but it's actually Empire. Oh, what?
Rubik's on the run. Coddle thought that he could cut him off with an Illuminate, but then Rubik's like, oh, sweet, free kill. 4 points in Fade Bolt, 3 points in Arcane Supremacy, easy.
Yep, go for it, buddy.
I'm a little bit disappointed with how long Dahak took to get into that fight. It's possible that his BOTs and his TP were both down, which is kind of odd, but whatever the case, like, there was a good 10 seconds at least where Lion and Tidehunter both knew that they were going to get very quickly attacked by a Slark, and then Carl put out the Will-O-Wisp, and I would have thought that would have been enough time for Dahak to come in and use Song, but Song wasn't used. Maybe he was like, you guys can handle this, you don't need my help, but Ravage was down, and so, I don't know, it's a little bit surprising how apprehensive Dahak was to get in the fight, but it didn't end up being that big of a deal for Empire, just start getting a little bit more of a lead.
I mean, I know that feeling, you know, there's a fight going on and you're just like, man, like, you know, I'm just going for my GPM record
guys.
this game, like, don't want to fight. I just want to.
I'm free farming right
get
now.
that
Why you
leaderboard
gotta get
position.
into fights.
I want a Nahaz tweet. That's what the hack's after. He wants a Nahaz tweet, but he ain't gonna get it because up onto the high ground he goes. He tries about the song, but no, the gaze is there. Can he pull it off? Yes, he can. Just about. Now using that shrine and TP himself away. Feels like a bit of greed to use a shrine as well as TP away there, but whatever.
I don't know. Maybe that frost shield could have finished him off. It was still ticking, but he gets away. Song is spent defensively, but Ravage is up now, so it doesn't really mean that Empire suddenly gets a window to start doing stuff. And Arcane Rune up on Afo9, and Vangscore has maxed out Chakra Magic. They need to show up bot, otherwise 2 tiers are going to get claimed very quickly.
You know, with Naga using the Shrine, I remember when Shrines first came out, and I saw his Reddit post. It didn't get any traction. It was like a 5 upvote Reddit post, but it was like Shrine abusers are ruining. 6 upvotes. Oh no, I definitely downvoted it. It was this guy saying that Shrines are being abused by my pub teammates and use them irresponsibly. This is when Shrines first came out. So every time someone uses a Shrine, everybody should get a pop-up that needs all 5 of you to vote for it before you can use Shrine. Can you imagine? Like you're there half dead at the Shrine, just pinging on it desperately. Your teammate's just like, well.
Oh no.
You're dying to bet about the poison.
Dead anyway.
I might need it later, so.
Dota 2's not a democracy, unfortunately.
Fortunately, some might say. As Gambit smoked up, getting all over Empire right now. And Naga, she's just up in the top lane. This is a 4-man fight. As down comes a finger, and Kodas is taken care of. They've also got the glitch inside this one as well. And this ultimate from the Coddle being so damn annoying, and they will finish him off as well. Gambit finding 2 kills, and Naga nowhere to be seen, just farming up and farming up and farming up whilst the team get work done around the map. Gambit playing like clockwork right now and really feeling pretty good about it.
I mean, Naga nowhere to be seen I'm fine with. The fact that Slark was fighting against a Naga and was also nowhere to be seen near that bot fight, that's troublesome because Tidehunter did not have to use Ravage at all. They were able to successfully get that Arc Warden kill just off of a Gush, Earth Spike, and the Will-O-Wisp. So they have Ravage moving forward, and again, it's still maxed out Nether Blast, maxed out Chakra Magic. This is, and Aether Lens as well. This is such a free push for Gambit.
They will take full advantage of that, helping their Pugna on the front lines with that Tidehunter as well. They've also got the Frost Mage as well, as Tide had this helm with the Dominator, which I didn't really mention, but Tide helm, is this normal?
Yeah, like I said, usually people aren't necessarily going for the blink first, and you can completely skip the blink, which is what Forstaff is queued up for. It's either Dominator or Greaves. The hood is a little bit surprising. I'm surprised that he found it necessary to go for a hood, because there's not even really that much magic damage.
Yeah, maybe he thought the Pugna was on the other team.
Or maybe he's just terrified of Arcane Supremacy. I don't know what the case is. Because they don't need a pipe either. I don't know. It's weird that he went for the hood. Agreed. But whatever the case, usually we'll see Dominator or Greaves. And then him skipping the blink, I'm also okay with that.
Have you seen the net worth chart, though?
No, let me click that.
Looking pretty pretty stacked for Tahak here.
That's gold.
720 gold per minute at the 21-minute mark. That's pretty damn good.
And now they get to do this Roche for free because Tidehunter did not have to spend Ravage. Hawks are scouting it out.
Oh dear, gets killed by the Nether Blast. One little Hawk gave his life for the cause. He can no longer run away, can he, the Hawk?
Nope. He's committed to his location. He dies. He's ride or die.
Yeah.
Oh, Hex up on the Slark.
Oh, they have him on the backlines, but the Will-O-Wisp going to hold him still. He's used the ultimate already, and they're just going to throw down the Ravage and finish him off. Dream is dead. And, okay. Empire now have a Ravage to work with. I imagine they'll give away this Roshan and look for a fight later on with this Blink Ravage on the Rubik. And when their Slark is a little bit more healthy, but I think you got to run away now. So if you die with this Ravage, I mean they've got a chance to take a good fight, which wasn't looking possible before now.
Arc Warden's not nearly big enough to contest this rush without his.
And Naga commits the song. All right. The hack not really reading the room in this game
I mean,
very well.
They saw the Ravage. They were like, dude, I swear to God, if your Ravage costs us this Aegis. Yeah, so defensive play, but I don't think that Gambit are in any rush to start doing anything with the Aegis. Dahak is getting close to his heart. I imagine they're just going to let him farm it out. which does give Arc Warden a little bit more time, but they know that Arc Warden does not have the Midas, so it's not as stressful as it typically is whenever you're like, oh god, we're farming, but also is Arc Warden, he's going to outfarm us. It's not that big of a deal right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think... What's his GPM? He's currently sitting at 404, which is quite frankly bad for an Arc Warden.
Nagasaren's a country mile ahead of him, so Dak feels no pressure whatsoever. Dream, though, he feels a lot of pressure.
Yeah, he's not having the best game in the world, and now that he's being hunted by this Naga under the sentry with the net, nothing but net, and Slug maybe, although the Rubik's coming in, he's got this Ravage. Yes. Here we go, Ravage onto 5. This could be a nice turnaround as the Chain Frost comes through as well, but where's that follow-up damage? They're going to need a little bit more than what they're putting out right now, but down goes the Tidehunter. He is dead. Dahak's dropping low as well. They'll take him down once, but the Finger takes down Dream from the high ground. Kingar does find the snipe. It's going to be the rest of Empire to bring down Dahak for the second time. The Roar is out. The life drain from Afro, although Moon's going to try and chase him away as down comes the Lamp, going to force Empire into a deep slumber. Finally, they managed to take down Vance. Yeah, gets him. They're looking for Dahak as well, but Dahak's so damn fast. And there's Naga Siren. She flies away, and actually, that's a heart coming into her. She's going to come back into this fight, and they're just like, oh no. Dahak suddenly full HP. What's going on? And now they jump on top of the Arc Warden, but down he goes all the same. I mean, inside the bubble didn't protect him at all. Naga Siren doesn't care. Meanwhile, Kingar will die in response, and now get down from there, Sayu, as he used the Blinding Light. Return Blinding Light is popped, but I don't think it's going to be enough to keep this poor old Rubik alive as they hunt and hunt and hunt and hunt. And finally, they find the kill onto Sayu as well. So Team Empire, they end up losing 3, and thanks to a timely arrival of a heart from Nagasaran, I mean, it was a beautiful Ravage, no doubt about it, and there was nearly a fantastic fight, and they're not done.
And another one.
Hello, Dahak, TPing across the map, thank you. Boots of travel, and now Beastmaster getting torn apart by the Tide and Dahak. They get another one right outside the base as well. No mercy being shown from Gambit. Oh no, not again.
He's on the run.
Emerging kills. I think he's alright though.
Yeah, and he has a TP to get back to base, but not having your Beastmaster buying back on the Rubik. A whole bunch of illusions knocking on this thing, and Ravage is back up now.
Yep.
It was an amazing initiation from Rubik. There's no situation where you don't go for that play.
Oh, sure.
It's just that the Naga Siren is just too large right now, and Gambit didn't leave her out to dry. A lot of times, like, you know, your enemy carries, their Aegis is claimed like massively out of position. Pugna was like, it's okay, even if I die, it's worth it. I'm gonna Decrepify, Life Drain, ends up working out. The static shield makes it a little bit more difficult, otherwise I think Pugna would have played even more aggressively. But he stays alive, and that allows Nagasaran to get a whole bunch of cleanup kills with that heart regen.
Sayu on the front lines, throwing down the net. Smokes to avoid
dude, what a value smoke, holy moly. He was dead, yeah. Guaranteed if he didn't do that.
Smoking saves your life sometimes. Not often.
That is amazing.
Does happen.
No, not often at all. And Dream's gonna cut the wave, so it slows down the push a little bit longer. Although the bot wave is pushing, but Radiant's gonna back off.
15 and 12 right now on this kill line. It's a decent kill line. It's been a pretty action-packed game, I'd say. Despite the hack just kind of AFKing, but you know, he's now fighting, which is good.
Yeah, usually when it's an action-packed game, it's Slark who's the primary contributor, but not this game. Dream has no real place in this. Oh, he gets slept. I think I found his place.
Uh-oh.
He has the Shadow Blade.
Oh. Gonna pop everything he has. Shadow Blade, Ultimate, Dark Pack, Leap. Get the whole kitchen sink in there, and it's not even enough. Sometimes you overcommit to an escape. Part of me wants to say that that might have been one of those times.
Oh man, they glyph the creep. Here comes the push.
The lone survivor. Can they take him out? I mean, there's a whole nother creep wave behind him, so it doesn't really matter if they do, but they will do it all the same. Actually, they're not. I thought they were using that bubble to come forwards here, but they're just using it to keep the racks alive a little bit longer. 9 seconds until the second. Oh, they forced stuff him forwards! Force. Hello! And now the Ravage come through as well. Goodbye, Coders. He's gone. That is such a sick combo. Such a nice play from Gambit as well. Not often we get to see 4-star used quite like that, but that was pretty special. Who was that?
That was a Tidehunter. Yeah. Usually you see his 4-staff and you're like, guys, we need to be careful. He might force into us and Ravage. Yeah. No one ever expects the offensive force. Amazing.
Yeah,
It doesn't get them anything, but it gets a Slark and Arc Warden buyback, which is arguably even more value than getting a Rex.
Yeah, possibly. It gives them win condition, that's for sure. And now the lamp comes down onto 3 heroes, and now the Tide getting into the middle of it all. He doesn't have the Ravage, but he doesn't need it. They'll come through with the damage. Dahak coming in from the high ground, trying to get them down. Meanwhile, the counter lamp is there. Meanwhile, the Chain Frost is ripping apart the Arc Warden. Dahak just sitting inside this bubble, though, not getting damaged at all, really, as Empire get up to the higher ground. Kodos is gone from this fight. Empire, they retreat, they reset. They're going to get their health and mana back, or at least a bit of it, from this shrine. And, well, it's going to be a tough fight, but they got to go for it.
This is such a weird angle of approach. Naga has sleep if they even commit.
Who's attacking who's high ground? I don't understand.
Yeah.
As Slark jumps in, does manage to purge off both the stuns from the line and bring him down. Afonje having to jump away from this one, but in come Gambit from the backlands. They're even going to Saint to cancel these TPs. Get these kids down. Slark, oh no, it's the full retreat actually from Gambit. They don't want to fight this. They want to get themselves away. Quite surprising if you ask me, but with the buyback from the Lich, they just want to get the most value out of this initiation as they can. And, well, they'll be happy to take this later on, although they're looking for the re-initiation. But Empire, they back away pretty quickly. The defusal that onto the Lich. He's going to use this Sinister Gaze to try and keep himself alive a little bit longer. Net's being thrown. Dahak, he's going to send his illusions to do his dirty work for him, and they just tear him apart. No chance for the Lich to survive that one. But 16 seconds until the Arc Warden is back. Maybe this will be enough for Empire to fight back and survive this. And yep, Gambit seems to be respecting that. They get themselves away. They'll take a Shrine instead. They do get the middle racks, but that's about it.
It is a little bit surprising that they didn't choose to engage off of that sleep, but I guess the idea is they aren't in any rush. Gambit have all the time in the world to win this game. If you have Pugna sieging constantly, as Dream does manage to successfully kill the Coddle, but you need to kill the Naga Siren before you really have a, like, plan to get back into this game. Not even, like, a chance to get back into it. Killing Naga Siren is like, okay, now we can start thinking about how do we win this game? She's 7-0-6 right now, and it's only getting harder. She has the butterfly completed on top of her heart. And
I don't mean to fat shame, but this Naga Siren is PHAT.
Yeah.
They're going on the Slark. The Decrepify finger nether plastic. God. His witness assassination, kids. That
Dude,
was,
homie's got 250 extra damage on his finger now.
Let's go.
Outrageous. Oh, the tooltip doesn't dynamically update. I was like, oh wow, that seems like a normal amount of damage.
Mine's telling me it's got a scepter.
Yeah, well, I think it's just for some reason it's not showing like an alt thing, because I thought the scepter stuff shows up under alt, but yeah, because I saw that and I was like, wow, he has a scepter already.
Yeah, I know, me too. I was like, excuse me. Well,
he doesn't need one. Gambit this game.
the only person you need to kill is Slark. And Dahak, he's found a double damage rune. There you go. There's a way to end the game for you, and there is nothing Empire can really put into this one without their Slark. These racks are going to Gambit's way, and there is nothing that Sayo and Sesmoon can do about it. They watch their buildings fall. One barrack remaining. That's all that's standing between Gambit and the grand finals.
They deserve it. Again, like, I'm struggling to figure out what Empire's draft is supposed to do. Yet again, I'm struggling to see the relevance of their support heroes, like Lich not really doing anything. Rubik has managed to steal great spells, but in the context of their entire draft, he's not really providing, like his instant lockdown isn't that useful. His Fade Bolt isn't that great at, like, being counter push. His steals aren't being able to win team fights definitively. He's a great hero, it's just not helping that much in this game.
Afo's sitting inside the pit. He's got this Aeon Disc, and I'm worried that Empire are going to overcommit to this one. As they actually see the Tide Hunter, this is a guy who wants to break the smoke. They immediately jump onto the Pugna here, but they can't quite find the kill. Now Slark jumping very far forward for this one. Looks for Vanscore instead, but now his purge is done. Dark Pact, and the finger comes through again. King R, the Assassinator, the man with a finger and a plan. And that plan involves one thing, it's killing Slarks, baby. Rabbit lands on no one. Oh, no, it very late lands on Kodos there, but hey, if it lands, it lands. I ain't gonna complain. And he's gonna try and keep himself alive with this bubble, but with the illusions doing their work, they just tear him apart all the same. He's just taking damage from Riptides alone there.
I don't even know if the illusions were doing anything. I think Naga Siren is just so outrageously big that she was like, I'm just gonna step in the bubble. The illusions are just gonna jam up my space. We can win this game. And they do. I mean, at the very end, super amazing Will-O-Wisp placement. Slark went in super deep and he was like, guys, it's okay, you can follow me. And on the very edge of the Will-O-Wisp, they got caught, so they couldn't even get close to kill the Ignis Fatuus. And overall, yet again, Gambit proves that they have like a strategy as opposed to Empire not really having a strategy.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of harsh to say, but it's absolutely true. There was very little direction to this Team Empire hopes lineup, and unfortunately it just didn't work out for them. But yeah, I love what you were saying about the Slark and his team just left behind, looking at this big old orb of light, like kind of, you know, guys, come on, we need to fight them. And the team's just like, I mean, we want to help.
But it's so pretty.
Yeah, look at this thing, dude. Have you seen it? It's so beautiful.
You should come over here, check it out.
Yeah, check it out, man. And then it turns off, and they're like, wait, okay, help him, quick. Oh, but then again, it is really nice. Anyway, many jokes to be had about that Will-O-Wisp because it is a goofy old spell, but damn it is good. And Vanscore, despite being 0-7, made some incredible plays. Inverse KD to what the Naga had at 7-0. So, yeah, very much the hack. Going pretty wild on the Naga Siren with an 844 GPM, 7-0 gameplay, sitting on a 25k net worth. Next up on the Pugner was 14k. So this guy was a full 11k up on the next highest net worth. Never mind the enemy team. Very convincing performance from Gambit, and it'll be hard to see if anybody can actually beat them in this grand finals, but of course they've got a lot of Dota to play. That'll all be coming up tomorrow, but from today, we are done. A very abrupt end, extremely early. In fact, the games were only supposed to start. This game was only supposed to start about an hour ago, so pretty exciting stuff. But we shall catch you tomorrow. Well, I'll catch you tomorrow. Unfortunately, Starming will not be joining us as it's a little bit early. But yeah, we'll definitely be bringing you the lower bracket games, which will be Windstrike versus
Namiga.
Amiga. Thank you very much. I always struggle to remember those guys. The open qualifier team coming through. That'll be the winner of that versus Empire, and that'll be the winner of that versus Gambit. All best of threes to find out who's going to make it to the minors. So I will see you tomorrow. Be there. We'll be square. And thank you very much for joining me, Tsunami, and I hope to cast you again soon.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Short but sweet. All right, see ya.